Hi, this is stream number 332. Actually, that means if I do a stream this afternoon, it's going to be 333. I just noticed that. Hey there, Nui. And once again, my Firefox is not reliably making sound. That bothers me a little bit. Anyway, today my stream is going to be dedicated to improving the deployment process. Let's drag that on screen so you can actually see that. Maybe zoom out. Chat is not in the way. You know what it says. It's slightly dimmed here, but it's process improvements for the deployment. Thank you, Nui. I am also considering working on automation for things like that. 1 minute start. There. I'd like to automate like that uptime counter and all the other things. Now the sound is working. Mr. Bandler, thank you for the sub. And I just started my stream too. Thank you for your support. I hope you enjoyed the stream. All right. And hey there, Toulouse. Wow, all my friends are piling in all of a sudden. Okay. So, maybe I should start off with a brief intro. So this is my game. This is actually the test environment for the game. It is a multi-user dungeon, which is in the future, when I have content for it, going to be mostly text-based driven, story elements, quests, that kind of thing, but with a little bit of graphical stuff added to it. And I've been putting a lot more time into the graphic stuff than I have been for the story-based stuff. That might have to change soon as I start to think about what mechanisms do I need to support questing and vendors and that kind of thing. But anyway, the game is, the visuals are inspired by Ultima 4 and 5, so it's all square tile-based stuff, and it's online now. So if you want to try it out, it's there. And let me think about what else should I say about this. Recently, I've been adding tools for me to be able to manipulate items in the world, so I can look into this treasure chest and see what's inside, look at the individual properties of an item, adjust them as I need to, and I can even look at, if I can find them, players who are logged out, right, and then look at their inventory and what they have equipped and what they don't have equipped, and move items so I could give myself some gold there if I wanted, or take it back. It's also got other administrative tools. So the same game client people use to play the game is what I am going to be using to build the game content. So we were just looking at the items panel. This is the dialogues panel. So the let's go back to where that NPC was, over here in this cavern. This NPC George here, he's got a dialogue if you talk to him, and he'll say, oh right. I guess he's not very pleasant when you first talk to him. He says, "Move along, peasant." And then you go to the conversation stage, and you can ask him things like, "What is your name?" "I am George the Guard." "What is your job?" "I guard this place." "Guard." That's my job. I make sure all you peasants stay in line. So, just like in Ultima 4 and 5, the NPC dialogues are meant to be where you type in a word to ask him about something, and what you can type in is either what all NPCs respond to, like name and job, but also words that are hinted at by other conversation. Like when you ask him his job and he says, "I guard this place," then you can kind of guess it. You can ask him about guard and maybe even about place. And this has various states. So if you ask him peasant, for example, he asks you a question. "You are a peasant, aren't you?" It goes to the peasant state, which is a multiple choice. You can say yes or no. If you say yes, it says, "Of course you are." It goes back to conversation. No, it says, "Okay, who are you then?" And then you'd go to the who state, where if you type GM, you'd say, "Oh, really? Why haven't you paid me yet?" But if you didn't know to say GM, the default choice is whatever. So the state machine is for interacting between the player who types in words and then the NPC who responds back in chat messages. But it also has the capacity to run game scripts. So, for example, if you go into the sword state, which if you say sword, he'll say, you need a weapon? I have a spare sword. Would you like it? Goes to the sword state. If you have room, which is if you meet this script requirement, has room, not only will he tell you, here you go, and he hands you a sword. Oh, the name is wrong there. But he'll actually run a script, in this case the give sword script, and that script looks like this. And this is starting to get into the details of how the game engine works. So giving a sword to a player consists of first creating an entity, and the entity has two components in it. The item component is all of the attributes of the item, and the tile component is anything that has an appearance in the game that has a 2D tile will have one of these components. So a sword is both an item and a tile. And then the game engine is set so that once you've created the entity, it takes that entity number and stuffs it in as an argument to a callback, and this is the script to run for the callback, which is to run another script called give to give the player the entity that was created. So if I look at the give script, it is relying on even more subroutines, and this is all in Lua, by the way. The game engine is set so that various game systems can be either be written in C++ or Lua, and all of the scripted stuff are probably going to keep in Lua because it's much easier to modify it. Hold on, I hit the wrong key there. To modify it in the context of a dialogue, to then to have to program it in C++ as a module or something and link it into the game server. It'd be much more complicated. Anyway, giving an item to a player, we first get their inventory, and if they don't have an inventory, then we give up. Otherwise, we find a free slot in their inventory. If we find it, then we ask the game to modify their inventory to place the item in the free slot. Otherwise, we give up. And I actually haven't programmed this yet, but yeah, if you end up getting into here where an item is being given to a player, and for some reason we can't give the item to the player, I haven't written this code yet. So you should probably do something like destroy the item or drop it on the ground, but I haven't done that yet. What'll happen right now, if it ever gets to this dispose, is it's just going to orphan the item. It's just going to disappear into the ether, and it'll still be recorded in the game because it would have created the entity. It's just that nothing will link to it. Anyway, that's a meandering description of what I'm working on. Please feel free to ask me any questions that you might have that I haven't covered yet. So today I'm going to focus more on updating this panel that shows the overall system of the backend servers. So the game server runs in 3 copies using a consensus algorithm, which we use for fault tolerance and for duplication of data for just in case there's data corruption. So I've been working on this all this week to improve the algorithm and fix some of the bugs. Now I want to get more visibility into the state and automate and improve the process of when we need to maintain the server state. So there are a couple things here, like adding and removing servers, changing the server version, that kind of thing. Hey, there's 715209. How are you doing today? So I have it on my list here for today, and actually didn't update the today command, so let me do that. Let's go into the production server. Also runs my chatbot, my integration with Twitch, so that's this today command right here. What am I working on? I was working on to not come up with new words, but to take them from my plan here. Improving the deployment process for his game, and then I'm going to paste the notebook link there, and I'll test it right now. Looks good. So I also have this habit I'm trying to form of putting in the today's link in Discord. So let me do that now. Stream plan. Today I am working on improving the deployment processes for my game. Paste the link there, and then we're done for now. We're done with that for now. How did I end up? Oh, I was looking at, this is an obsolete zone I was playing around with yesterday. That's why it's there. Okay, never mind. I'm like, why is the camera in that zone? All right. I think I got everything set up, but you guys let me know if I forgot anything. So the first thing I want to look at is showing the port numbers in the cluster status. So, oh, how did I get there? If I hit not shift, but control tab, that's sort of annoying. Control tab flips you to the next section. All right, current task is changing, right? Not starting up the stream anymore. Showing backend server port numbers in admin cluster status panel. All right. So that is this panel right here, cluster status. Mernin Krasner. Mernin. I don't have a shortcut to say Mernin, but I said it for reals, so. Yeah. We're showing the host name, the host name? The name of the host that each server process is running on, their IDs, their RAF status, and statistics. But I also want to show the port numbers because I've had issues remembering which port number each server is using, and it would be cool if I had ability to see it here. I'm doing okay, Krasner. I'll be glad when today is done because it's been a long week. But I'm doing okay. Hope you're doing fine too. All right, so this cluster status will be in a cluster status view here. Doing great, I'm glad. So this is a React component, which is rendering a div with a table in it, along with a button bar. So that's this table here with this button bar down here. And I believe this cluster status with reset stats bar at the top is in the level above this, which would be cluster panel. Yeah. Cluster status, here's that bar, and then there's the cluster status. Okay, so let's pin that. Cluster, I should have pinned it. Pin it. There we go. So I want to add port number right here. So that's the header for the table. That's this row up here. So we're adding a column, so I have to add it here. And then the cells in the data would be right here. So we're going to add it here. TD server. I think it's port. Let's see if I'm right. So if I did this correctly, when this should reload and show me the port numbers of the servers. No. It's not port. What is it? I'm going to cheat and use Redux. So I use Redux for all the state of my front-end app. So it lets me look into, for example, this configuration server. Is this what we want to look at? Hold on. Let me take that off screen for a second. I've been known to accidentally put secrets in there. Yeah, there's an old... There's stuff in there that I'd rather not be in there. Like, not OAuth tokens, but like client IDs. That just don't need to be in there. I'd rather I should be in the credentials list. I really can't show that on screen, but... In fact, maybe that's something I work on today. Is moving the secret stuff out of the configuration. What am I looking for? Realms. Okay, so I can show this much of it. Drag it back on the screen. So it's not port, it's public and private port. So I think I want to show... just the public port number. Because I'm following a convention right now. The private port is just adding 100 to the public port, which is probably going to stay the same for a while. So it's public port. And let me hide that for a second. Public port. Don't need that anymore. There we go. So now I have the port numbers. That was easy. Show public server ports in cluster status. Super easy. Start off with an easy. I should start off with an easy task every day. All right, so next. Show server and cluster status immediately upon adding and not just when it's done starting up. So in the short version here, we're going to say showing servers in admin cluster status immediately after adding them. Yeah, that fits. Okay, so let me demonstrate the issue that I have with this right now. If I go and say add a server, localhost 1380 90 81 90 add. See how it didn't show up on the list yet? Still not there? Oh, there it is. So there's some delay in adding it, and I want to find out why that is. Remove is immediate, which makes sense. But yeah, the add, I'm not sure why it takes a while. In fact, I think I want to watch this log while we're waiting for the add to happen to see if maybe there's a clue in the log about what's going on there. So add. I wonder if I can auto-populate these too. That would be nice. I guess it's really not that important. So if I hit add and then immediately flip to here, at what point does it... Okay, it showed it right when this happened. Okay, so it waited until the joint configuration was committed. So a joint configuration is when we're changing from a set of 3 servers to a set of 4. Then we have a dual configuration. The cluster will know that this is configuration 1 and that's configuration 2, and we're in the process of going from 1 to 2. So both sets of servers will be valid at the same time. That's what a joint configuration is. If you want to learn more about that, check out this white paper on Raft consensus algorithm. Once joint configuration is committed, then you can retire the old configuration, which is what we do. We apply the new configuration, and that's this single configuration command where we retire the old set and now we have this new set. Something like an add, this is maybe overkill, but you can imagine if we completely change the set, like if we went from 10, 11, 12 to 5, 6, 7, then all of the current servers would be leaving and there'd be a whole bunch of new servers coming in. So we'd have to have a time where we're transitioning. Hey there, Mr. Halsey. And Raiders, how are you today? Thank you so much for the raid. Thank you for spamming the link, Nui. Just explaining what the cluster reconfiguration process is. I am working on a little bit of that today. Ahoy! Hope you're doing well, Mr. Halsey. Right. So I want a server that I add to the cluster to show up immediately, and right now it's not showing up until this point where the joint configuration is committed. And there's a significant delay. So that's at time 104.8. And when I added it, it was way back here, right? Way back here, yes. 101.2, so that was over 3 seconds before we actually saw it appear in the list. I'm wondering at what point would the client know that that configuration has been applied? I guess I could look at the Redux messages at the same time I'm looking at this stuff. Yeah, let's do that. Let me look at this on the network side. So that means pulling up this and looking at the network tab. So nothing appears there at first. We have to reload before we can see the WebSockets come up. All right, now when I go to cluster status and we're going to add the server back, 13, 80, 90, 81, 90, and then hit add. And there's the new server. So let me look at the timing of this. Hey there, smack in the box. Rhymnoceros. I like it. How are you doing? Okay, I clicked on it. Why didn't it show anything? Oh, that's odd. Okay, there's a lot of activity in this zone, right? Oh, no, because we're looking at that screen. Yeah, okay, that's right. This cluster state is polled continuously. So let me go back to where that was actually changed. And also when we're in this zone, it's very active. So let me move to this zone so we stop seeing messages there. Scrolling back until we see where we actually made the change. Actually, you know what? I'm going to try it. I'm going to do this again because there's just too much noise. Let's remove the server and then reload again. You're just working on some Mongo tutorial stuff. Nice. Does that mean you're following the tutorial or you're making a tutorial? All right. Yeah, we're going to see a bunch of spam from this. That's okay. So add local host 1389. My keyboard is on the fritz. I wonder if I need to start thinking about ordering a new one. So I'll hit add and then I'll flip over this one immediately. Okay, there it goes. So this message came in almost 2.5 seconds later. So at time 9:36:07. Hold on. Is this where are we setting it? It's part of the Python. Oh, you're okay, working on a Python project and you're following tutorial? Okay. I'm looking for the where we actually send the configuration to the game here. Here it is. So 9:36:07.029 we sent it. And we also polled the cluster state again. Interesting. It actually told us there was a server 13 almost immediately. So I wonder if we can leverage this versions. Yeah, I wonder if we could leverage this versions message to know that at least that there is a server 13. Oh, and the configuration did come back. Aha. So there's a next configuration we could look at, right? Yes. And I don't want to show that on screen because there's some secrets in there, sort of. Yep, so we could use this next configuration message as a hint that there is going to be another server. In fact, you know what would be cool is if we could show graphically on this display which servers are current and which ones are next. Maybe add it to this raft thing. Maybe a little character in front that to mark if it's one of 3 possibilities. A server might be in the old configuration only, might be in both, or it might be in the new configuration only. Maybe what I can do is have like a less than sign for old, a star for both, and a greater than for new. So we can update that whenever we get this configuration command, actually. So let me look into the front end for that, and let me update the current task. Actually, that's exactly what we're still doing, right? So let me look for configuration command. So that would be server messages, right? Server message would be configuration. Here it is, on configuration. What is that for? Is configuration newer? What does that do? Why does that matter? Oh, I think I know why. Because we could be getting this message from any of those 4 servers now, and some of them might be behind the others, so we want to only grab the latest. So this makes sure we only use the latest. And so it dispatches this action in Redux, reflect server configuration. Let's see where that goes. And we have both the current and the next configuration in there. Hey there, Romania Hate. Going well? How are you doing? I am looking forward to being done with work today, because it's Friday and I'm tired out from the week. But I'm doing okay. Okay, so it's caught in the configuration reducer. And I do have this note about this only works if we have one game realm. Whenever I extend the game to have multiple realms, this isn't going to work. You want to try a new framework, like Angular or Vue or something like that? Still didn't look into them GitHub actions. It's still in the queue. I'll get to it eventually. Keystone? I never heard of that. What's Keystone JS? An up-and-coming framework? Specialized framework of some kind? Yeah, so this makes an assumption that there's only one realm in the list, and so it just picks the first one. Okay. And it's just saving them under server, which that's where we've seen it. And then the golem catches it. Right, this is how the golem, or the chatbot integration, detects whether or not that it should be active. So it's looking at this part of the configuration, the golem part. Hold on, wait. The server configuration is the whole configuration object, so this must be a subset of the server configuration. Yeah, that's right, I remember this. It's a CMS, content management service, is that what that stands for? That you can do backend stuff with GraphQL? Ooh, neat. GraphQL is another thing I need to learn. Don't know anything about it other than that apparently Keystone.js uses it and Twitch uses it. That's all I know. Alright, where else? That's where we dispatch it. Game Connection uses it apparently. It's not that big, it's easy to learn. Alright. Neat. Okay, so this is figuring out which servers have been removed, no longer configured, right? You want to dig into it? Yeah, I should do that too. Okay, so for every server no longer configured, it closes the connection to it. Makes sense. And then for every server, if we don't have a connection to it, we add state for it, and then we're going to dispatch the connect. So this middleware is only really concerned that the configuration changes if servers are added or removed connecting to them. So we could probably leave this one alone. Oh. We clear the configuration if we're told to disconnect from the game. That makes sense, so we don't have anything stale. And then the admin middleware catches this as well. Okay, so this is part of the process that's broken right now. This version change mechanism. The idea with this is that in this drop-down list, if there are multiple versions of the game on the server side, that we could change the server version on the fly by, whenever I pick a new version here, it would remove the server, and then once those servers are removed, we would get to here, and this would add it back in if this flag server being upgraded is true. So this part is broken. I don't want to fix it right at the moment, but we're going to look into this later. Okay, as far as showing things in this list, I think we can look at the panel because the it's being captured in this reducer just fine. We have all the data there, so it's really just the work of this panel. Cluster panel again, which goes to cluster status. Okay. Right, so this is only looking at the server config, which is what? Which is grabbed from Redux. Configuration wait a minute. I missed something. How? I need to look at the Redux again. There's configuration and there's next configuration. Okay, so back at server messages. Configuration and next configuration. Okay, and then... Oh, so we're not actually using the next configuration at all. What is? Maybe nothing is. Maybe that's my problem. Okay, the admin middleware is using it, but only to know when to upgrade the server. Okay, so let's use it. Let's actually capture it in the reducer like we should be. So that's the current configuration of the server. Let's have a server next and capture that here. Next configuration, right? And so we have it in Redux state, and then I'll pull it into the cluster status as well. Server next. How about server config next? Server next. And then that now becomes a React prop. And with that React prop, I think I want to take these two and kind of fold them together somehow. How do we do that? By making it, I think I'm just going to make a map. So const servers is new map. I'm going to map from ID to an object that has the configuration and also a little bit of extra information that we might want. So let's take, what's the shape of that? Redux, please. State. Realms. Okay, I can't show this. I really want to be able to show the test configuration, so I'm going to work on that later today. Yeah, I can't show this, but servers is an array. So that means I can do a map, right? Bring that back here because we're okay. This was only, okay, so this sorting we can do later, right? With the actual map. Okay, so instead of, so this is the old code. The new code will be this dot map server info. And then I want to do this twice. Server config next. So the first time it's just going to be servers dot add. Is that how you do it? I can't remember. I've already forgotten how to use map. This is what documentation is for. JS map. There we go. Right. Get is what we can use to see if there is a value, right? Undefined if it can't be found. Where's the add? Oh no, it's not add, it's set. Okay, set. Yes. And then TypeScript is helping me at this point. The key is the server info.id. The value will be, let's form a map. I mean, not a map, a object. I want to put in the server info, but I want to add a few things to this. Or maybe I make this a sub object. Oh, there might be old and new config, right? Yeah. So old, well, config. And then I want to list here in, well, current. How about current and next? Current is true, next is false. And then if we find it here, we'll set the next to true. Yeah. Hey there, Pro Sam. How are you doing? So when we get to here, it actually might already be in there, so we need to get it, right? Const entry is servers.get server info.id. if entry is null, else. Hold on, I'm getting a text. Alright, it's just a text from Mrs. Raimu. Alright. Giving me some informations. If it's null, we're going to set it similarly to there, only current is false, next is true. Actually, why am I bothering with these flags? If I'm going to have config and config next, just do that, right? Else entry dot config next is server info. Done. Any reason you don't use objects? I am using objects except for this this servers thing. I want to be a map because I know I'm going to want to iterate through it anyway. Actually, I guess it doesn't really matter. I could use an object. Well, an array, I mean. I could have just used an array here. I guess looking up the server is easier if it's a map. I just get it by ID. Because this ID is not a string, so that's why I can't use an object here, unless I was comfortable with converting numbers into strings. Unless I'm not understanding what you mean by objects. So the server config and server config next already are objects. I'm trying to fold them together and use them to build this table, which is right here. Right now we're only showing the current configuration, not a mixture between the current and the next. So I'm trying to mix the two. Yeah. So what do we do if the information is different between the two? The difference between an object and a map is that you can use key other than string and number. Yeah. So I wanted to use the ID number as the key. That's why I'm using the map. Using it as a map. I don't need that blank line. Don't need this. I still want to sort servers by ID, but actually, can you sort a map? Hold on, let me think about this. I think I want the keys out of this, right? Where's my doc? Here we go. Keys, yes. So I want sort by servers dot keys. And I don't want sort by, do I? Sort. Wait a minute, what? What does the iteratives to sort by mean? And what's I guess I can look up identity. Turns the first argument it receives. I don't understand that. Identity is X is X. Oh, okay, cool. So that's what I actually want, right? Just take the keys of the map and then map them to, this is ID, right? And then I want to turn this from a value to some code. And the code will be, I need to render little icons for different things, or render pieces of it and then pull it all together. So the first thing I want to do actually is just to meld them together. So we'll be if, well, const server is servers dot get ID. Oh, this is server info. These names are horrible, by the way. Yeah, if server info dot server is not equal to null. So this is let server. Let's do it this way. with a ternary. If that's null, then we're using server info.server next. Or it's config. Config next. And I don't need these flags actually. Config next, otherwise it's server info.config. Okay, and this server ID we already know, so I don't need to fetch it from there again. Just say ID. And then this needs to be turned into a return. Return the table row. Okay, let's see what that does. Make sure I didn't break anything. I did break something. It's undefined. Oh, why do I... Did I replace that by accident? Oh, you're right. It might not be defined. Okay. So that's conditional. If server config next not equal to null, then do this. Alright. Reloaded. Hey there, Endurin. How are you doing? Okay, now it doesn't show anything. Thank you for that follow. Alright, what did I do wrong here? Oh, by the way, I have a friend. His name is Casper. He's asleep. Roughly 6 feet to my right, on the top of a cat tower. Hey there, Cloudhawk. How are you doing? The beast. Okay, this is empty now. I messed it up somehow. Yeah, 6 feet to my right. I can maybe reach halfway there. Yeah, about 1.8 meters. Yeah, probably. Maybe a little bit less than that. Maybe 1.4 or 5 meters? Servers set from the ID. We have an object with config in it. Okay. So then, when we sort the keys, it should have returned some row. So it's not, it must not be getting any row, right? Oh, shouldn't this be, no. That's an, is this the problem? Let's do, const IDs equals that debugger. Reload. Everyone has feet, nobody has meters. I have, yeah, power meters. Hey there, Etienne. How you doing? Use centimeters and kilos for height and weight as a Canadian, but can't help describe just medium distances in yards over meters. I don't really use yards too much. Power meter, yeah. Alright, let's see what my IDs are. Length is 0. Okay, what's going on here? Can we not use Lodash to sort the keys here? It says it's in a length of 0. Okay, maybe I don't understand Lodash sort by. Is it power meter over 9,000? Of course it is. Watt. Over 9,000 watt. Okay, what's... This just should work, right? Sort by. Creates an array of elements sorted in ascending order, burning each element in a collection through an iterate. Maybe it just doesn't work with JS map dot keys. Turns a new iterator object. Do I need to turn it into a list? Sound like a duck when I say whack, whack. So keys, if keys returns an iterator, does that mean Lodash doesn't work with iterators, it actually needs an array. It says collection. I'm guessing that's what it is. So do I just need to put it in brackets? Like that? Let's see. How come it? Okay, it took a while. Okay, that did it. All right, so I don't need the debugger anymore. Strange that I have to do that construct though. So that goes there. It also says iterate, which suggests it works with iterators. Yeah, I don't know why it didn't work until I turned it into a real array. Okay, cool. So it didn't break it yet. So next I want to indicate which servers are old and which ones are new. So I hate to repeat this logic though. Well, let's do it. Let server and I don't know what do we want to say. Foo, because I don't have a better word for it. Maybe someone in chat will suggest it once the context becomes clear. I want to say if there is no current config, then it's a next only. So foo equals that chevron thing. And here server is server info.config next. Else, if server info.config next is null, foo is that meaning that this means it's a new server. That means it's an old server. And then a server that's neither entering nor leaving the configuration will just be star. In either case, I want server here to be server info.config. Or do I want config next? Here I'm not so sure. I think I want it to be config. If it's old or in both, I want to show the config, even if we're changing something. Yeah, okay. So then I don't need that. And then foo will show where. Let's show it in front of the host. So that would mean like that. So now let's play around with this. So if I add back in 13, it'll be really brief, like 2 or 3 seconds, but it should show up with a right arrow, and the other one should turn into stars. And it didn't work. It didn't work at all. It's using left arrow for all of them. Interesting. So I messed this up somehow. It was like a flag indicating not its age, but whether it's in the new configuration only, in the old configuration only, or in both configurations. So it's like, is the server leaving, entering, or staying where it is? So I guess it would be server migration status. Something like that. Hey there, Tua Bud. How are you doing today? I am doing fine. What is a move? What is a move? That word is overloaded, Nui. So I would say it depends on the context, but in most contexts, I would say a move is when you do something like clicking this button. There, I just moved. There, I just moved again. But if you mean like, what else might you mean by what is a move? Actually, there could be meant multiple things. Do you mean like How long is it? Or what various game systems consider a move to be? Move is a set entity component of type position. The component has to be a JSON object that has an X and Y coordinates. How long ago was that clip? 2 months ago? I can't remember what I said 2 months ago, Nui. I'm old. I failed the test, though, I guess. I see. Yeah. Okay, yes. That's actually literally what I'm doing when I'm clicking these buttons. It's doing a set entity component of type position. We can see that in the network tab. If the network tab would please work for me. Yeah, here it is. Modify component. The modified component turns into a set entity component type when it hits the backend server. But yeah, setting the position, setting the X and the Y coordinates. So yeah. But move is such a generic term. That's a hard quiz, Nui. The other thing is it shouldn't be showing a left. It should be showing, well, hold on. We can know whether or not we're there. Oh, wait, hold on. I think I might have an answer here. What if that's undefined? Actually, let's just watch the Redux for that. So let me get a fresh new state here. Drop that, and then we'll add it back. 13, 89 to 81, 90, add. Uh-oh. Did I confuse it? What's going on? It can't connect. Why not? Unable to connect. The server stuck? What happened? Start reconfiguration committed. Connecting to server 13. Unable to connect to server 13. Why? What's server 13 doing? Hey there, A squared. How are you doing? I'm just going to peek at what server 13 is up to. It's not even running. What the heck? Orchestrator, why are you not starting server 13 for me? Scrolling back. Server 13 no longer in configuration. Did I just not wait long enough to add it? Okay, this is where we removed server 13. Yeah, and then 7 seconds later I tried to add it back. Okay, I think the orchestrator's messed up. Yeah, okay, so what do I do here? Stop it and start it again? Should probably hit a snapshot. Make sure that the snapshot is made. And then let me try killing the orchestrator and then starting it again. Oh yeah, there's that history of information that it does. Question is now, will it be stuck? Okay, servers 10, 11, 12 think that it should be talking to the 13 right now. So how do I fix this? I think I have to download 13 and then remove it. I mean, download the configuration and remove it from here. Show in folder. Edit with Notepad++. It's not even in there. Oh, we're in the middle of a reconfiguration, aren't we? So then to fix this, I would do what? Stop the whole cluster? I've never actually hit this bug before. Stop the whole cluster, and then let's remove 14. Let's remove 13 too. Yeah, there's a new config there, right? I guess I would just delete new config. And at this level, there's also a new config. Delete that. And then start it again, I guess. wserve. So that was weird. The orchestrator didn't think it needed to start up server 13. And let's try again. Add localhost 13 80 90 81 90. Add. Now it started it. Okay. So now I wanted to look at the redux for that. All right, so let's look at the configuration. There it is. Action, configuration. Where's the joint configuration though? How about receive message? It's gonna be a lot of them. Let me look at them from the beginning. Well, hold on. Where did I actually send to game? Too many messages. Okay, there. Where are we authenticating here? Okay, there's where server 13 was added. What about before that? A whole bunch of raft state pollings. Okay. Okay, these are just polling messages. Oh, here we go. Change configuration. All right, and then we sent to game this message to change the configuration. Now what do we get back? We got the dual configuration. Wait, we received it, but we didn't receive it from all three games, but it didn't reflect it. Oh, because the log number didn't change. Yeah, okay. I messed it up then. Hey there, Beach Cats. Happy Friday. To you too. So, what do I do about that bug I just saw before? Do I just note that it happened? Bug. I managed to confuse the game orchestrator into thinking it did not need to add a server to launch a server being added to the cluster configuration. The only thing I can think of is perhaps this is because we had just removed it less than 10 seconds earlier. I wonder if there's some kind of thing in the orchestrator where it knew about the old server and it killed it because it's no longer in the set, and then when it sees it come back, it's like, no, we don't want to add that, it's old. It could be something like that. Alright, so this problem though here is that there's a message coming in with the next configuration and we're not doing anything with it, and I think it's because the configuration isn't changing. So that would be a problem in this reducer, wouldn't it? No, it wouldn't be. It would be where this is not being dispatched. So that would be one of these. Yeah, this is configuration newer. That's what it is. I think what I want to say here is if there is a next configuration, or it's newer. Yeah, if message.next configuration is not null, or there, let's try it. Let's try it now. Okay, remove server 13. I'm gonna wait a little bit because I don't want to debug that other issue quite yet. Wait a little bit and then add it back in. Localhost 13, 80, 90, 81, 90, add. Okay, cool. Now it's working. See, new. Okay, it's just showing the wrong chevron for if there is no next configuration, so I just need to fix that. We're calling it server migration status. Let me have a variable out here. So let joint configuration is false, but if we get to that, then that's true. Then this will say if joint configuration and the next is null. If joint configuration and it's null, then do the left chevron, otherwise star. Foo is not defined. No, it is not. Right, so that's server migration status. Alright, so there are 4 servers, remove 13. And that was really quick. It still does a, how do I show this? Here. It'll still do a joint configuration very briefly, but the time between the joint and the single was, wow, 20 microseconds? That's pretty fast. Oh no, hold on, that's between applying one and applying the other one. How long is it? It is really quick. Damn. Yeah, it removed the server really quick. Adding it back takes longer though because it has to boot the server up. So localhost 13, 80, 90, 81, 90 add. So now we're in joint configuration because it's adding that one and now it's up. So if I did a more complex joint configuration where I like removed one and added one at the same time, we would see the less than sign, but we'd probably never see it practically. Oh, we might if I remove the leader. Let me try that. So if I remove the leader, I need to remember that port number, 8084. Remove the leader, yes. Okay, there we see it. So it's stepping down as leader, and then a new leader gets... Okay, and then this front-end bug that I saw the other day. There's some kind of bug in the front-end where it goes into an infinite loop. In some situations, and I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe I should debug it now. So I gotta let it crash. I wonder if I can do anything from here. Can I, like, hit pause? There? Okay, it's paused. So where are we? Oh, look at that. We're in some kind of recursion. Some kind of weird recursion. Yeah, nice. So we're in the middle of making a tile label. What's this start? Load tile set. What? Handle deferred actions? What are the deferred actions? There's 8 actions deferred. Okay. You debugged for past 2 days a known issue, and today you noticed someone fixed it, and all you had to do is merge develop with your branch? Feels bad, man. It could have been worse. Romania hate it could have been like 4 days instead of 2. I'm sorry to hear that, though. That always sucks. Okay, so I caught the front end bug by going to sources and hitting break. There's some kind of weird recursion going on here. Oh, here it is. We get from here back up to here somehow. How? Oh, load complete's getting called recursively? Oh, look at that. We're calling start from the context of start. You know what I should probably do? Check this flag. If not loading, then set it and do start. Right? Okay, can I go back all the way to the front, or is this going to be... I got to show more. How many stack frames are there? Wow, there are a lot of steps. What's step? This isn't even my code, is it? It's someone else's code. Time step. I'm looking for the first reference to my code. I think it's right here. Phaser ready, yeah. So at this point, phaser is ready. Did we stop and start phaser? It must have stopped and started phaser at one point. That's why all the graphics are all messed up. Okay, is that because we lost our connection? That might be, because we lost our connection to the server that our camera is based on, I think. Okay, let me see what happens here. Right, so when phaser is ready, then we go to these deferred actions, right? And the deferred actions, there are 8 of them. What are they? Hard to see them. Oh, and it just closed on me. Okay, I'm not gonna, that's just gonna be annoying. So the first deferred action is what? OnReflect tile added. Can I add tile set? Right, a tile set is added. Add the tile set, load the tile set. So it's when we go into phaser and tell its loader to start is the problem. It calls our, it ends up calling our on phaser ready again? Oh, because we attached a complete to load. Oh. So I shouldn't tell it to start if it's already loading. That's the issue. I think loading equals true. This should just check if loading. If not stage loading, then do that, right? But if we're already in the loader thing, we're doing actually the other way I could do it is let me think about this. Yeah, it's recursing, so the other way I could do this, stage loading. Wait a minute, so the change I just made won't work because this is clearing the flag and then calling that anyway. I think the problem is we don't want to handle deferred actions if we're already in the context of doing it. So let's go back. Handle deferred actions, right? This might be called in the context of handling them, so I think I need to have another flag. Where is that used? Well, it's really deferred actions I care about. Oh, yeah, what am I thinking? Here it is. So let's have another flag. Handling deferred actions is false. And then here we set it to true. And then here to false. So that while we're handling one of the deferred actions, if we get into here, we don't want to call this, right? Actually, then I can just put the check here. If handling and then just return to avoid the recursion. There we go. That's easiest because this flag is limited to just this area here. I like that one better. Okay. Recovery. Is it time to stretch? About an hour. Okay. I'll give you a point for that. Aw, snap. Something went wrong. Reload again. Let me pet the cat for a second. Hold on. Give you guys a free cat pet. I pet the cat. The cat deserves it. Okay, let's try this again. Host, localhost, 14. Oh no, let's add 10 back. 80, 84, 81, 84. Add. So now we can see that it's in the process of being added, and now it's online. And excellent. So let's remove 11 now since it's the leader. Remove 11. So it's stepping down. And I got another crash. Interesting. Yeah, it's smack in the box. That's exactly what the cat was thinking. Actually, he was either thinking that or he was thinking, I'm just so tired. Leave me alone, human. And I'm looking through old screenshots, saw that command exists. Well, yeah. I'm teased on Tim's stream a little bit. Someone made a command on Tim's stream that tells me to stretch, but it's a little bit annoying, but, you know, what can I do about it? Okay, what's going on here? Close of null. Thank you for that follow. It's closing a connection to a server 8086. Which one was that? Oh, the one we just told to step down. Oh, yeah. We only want to do that if we actually have a connection open, right? So there should just be a check there. Yeah. So what line is that? 244 of game connection? Yeah, thank you again for that follow. I appreciate it. Right here, right? This might not even be open. In fact, when it's not open, what is it? It's null, right? It is null. So if this is not equal to null, close it. All right, glad I'm finding all these edge case bugs. Anyway, cluster's back up and running. Let's add 11 back in. 80, 86, 81, 86 add. So it's added immediately. And it's a member of the cluster right away. And then let's remove 12. Steps down as leader. A new leader gets elected and boom. The flash is because the new leader reestablishes things like the tile sets, and it's going to send all clients a message saying, here are all the tile sets. Here you go. And so that causes the graphics to be reloaded. To improve that, I would need some way of the leader knowing that the tile sets really didn't change since the last leader told the client so. So, yeah, I can work on that at some point. Let's remove 13. Add back in. So that flash there is probably because our camera was using server 13. So right now at 2 servers left, there's no room for failure. I like to have at least 3 because then at least one server can go down at a time. Add it back. And it boots up. Nice. I like it. Let's check it in. Git GUI. Okay, so these are separate bug fixes. We should pre-populate the server field with localhost. Yeah, I mentioned that a little bit ago. That's, yeah, a good idea. That's an awesome idea, actually. Maybe just have it remember the last thing I typed in that field. Then I'd only type it once. Right, just remember the last thing I typed here, maybe. And there, too. So retain host and server, but clear the other fields, maybe? The other thing I wanted to do, which is in the plan, Piano Boxer, is to have them remain in the configuration but not actively participating. Like basically take something offline So that leave it in the configuration, but have a button to say stop this one. Okay, start it again, or leave and join or something like that. Then I wouldn't have to type in anything at all. I'd just be hitting buttons to add and remove them. Store in local storage. For I could do that, but I could also just, if I did this one where we kept it in the configuration, it would show up in the list, this list here, but we have another icon in front. I wonder if this deserves its own column, just to show that the server is not even in the cluster. It's like offline or something. Anyway, this bug fix first, right? Fix bug closing socket that might not be open. More icons. Yes. So this one is part of the other changes, so I'm not going to pull that in. This one was a bug fix. This is a bad bug. Fix infinite recursion. Fix infinite recursion in front end. It's possible for a deferred action to start the phaser loader, which then completes and calls on phaser ready, which starts handling the deferred actions again. Prevent this by returning early from the deferred action handler if the deferred actions are already being handled. Hey there, Rally Monkey. You've been in chat for a while just lurking? Well, I understand. You probably have many Rally Monkeys to take care of, right? Okay, so these three all go together, right? Yeah. This is show servers joining, leaving the cluster. Now I have more visibility into what the heck's going on in the cluster. Multitasking. Hey there, Beldathas? No, I'm not saying your name right. Beldathas? I have a feeling that I'm still not saying it right. And hey there, Oblivioner, how are you today? And I didn't say hi to Piano Boxer. Hi! And how come the wave for Rally Monkey didn't go through? Let's do it again. Hey there, Rally Monkey. Beldathas? Okay. Okay, we did that, and we did that. Now this, I guess, fix server version change mechanism. So this has been broken for a while. I don't know how it broke. So we're gonna fix it. Current task used to be that. Now it's fixing broken mechanism allowing server code version to be updated. Allowing server, I'm bad with words. Fixing broken mechanism, which allows admin to change version of server. There we go. The Baldur's Gate 3 is coming out? Wow. It's been like a lot of years since Baldur's Gate 2, hasn't it? Go for the eyes, boo! Actually, what if I insert something into the plan today to do the thing that Piano Boxer was just talking about? Do not clear host version fields of add server. And then change this current task to be pre-populating certain fields of admin add server form. All right. This form is in a special place. I think it's called add server form. Here it is. And this is using React state, which is why it's always cleared at the beginning. So maybe I'll just do what Pianoboxer said and just use local storage for it. So just remember what the last one was. Hey there, playing with scissors. How are you doing? Just had a 2-hour-long interview. Were you the one applying or was someone applying to where you work? You don't feel too good about it? They were asking very college-y questions. Oh, you were the one applying. Like, what is encapsulation? What are interfaces for? I'd say, yeah, that's a little bit college-y, but yeah, it's not unreasonable that they'd ask you that. You can also pre-populate the port numbers based on ID. I think before I do that, I'd rather just make it so that I can just take them offline and not have to add them at all. But yeah, the host and version, we can just use the last number, right? So this would be, I forget how it's done. Get local storage. Local storage without case sensitivity. Yeah, here we go. It's local storage.get item. The voice actor for Minsk is the same guy who does Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. Yeah, these voice actors get around, don't they? Yeah, those kinds of questions like what's encapsulation and interfaces, that would be for a junior dev. You could say, "Sir, I am insulted that you would ask me that. I am not a junior engineer. I'm a senior engineer." Just kidding, by the way. Let's see if I can answer the question. What is encapsulation? What are interfaces for? So, what is encapsulation? I would say encapsulation is hiding implementation details from users. So, it goes along with this question. What are interfaces for? Separating the inner workings of some code from the other modules in the system that need to use it. It's making an abstraction. So encapsulation is hiding the details of the abstraction away. Did I get it wrong? Did I pass? Did I pass the interview? I can understand an interviewer asking those questions just to break the ice a little bit, because those are questions I would, if I were the interviewer, I would only ask those if I knew that you'd be able to answer it, and I'd get you talking, and maybe see if you cared about that kind of thing, if you really knew a whole lot of details about it, or maybe just a little bit. So it might be just introductory questions they're getting at. I don't know. I got the job. Well, thank you, Pro Sam. What does it pay? Uh-huh. All right, I'm going to do local storage.get item. What do I want to name this stuff? I guess it would be the namespace is within our entire app. So let's say add, can I use dashes? Add server host. And then we should have a default for it, right? What does it return if it's not present? I guess we'll just do the traditional or empty string. Do we say anything about pay? Wait a minute. Post Brexit Britain, employee pays employer? What? All right, so the version, I want to cache that as well. Add server version or empty string. All right, now where do we store it? I suppose we can just do it whenever it's set. So let me do this here. Wait a minute. Let me think about this. Why did I put a 3 there? Oh, because that is a 3. It's a default. Should do the same thing here actually. If I'm worrying about the thresholds, let's make this sort of sticky as well. Log threshold. I guess I could do it in onSubmit. Yeah, why not? Local storage only takes strings, right? So I can just do it here, since they're already strings. Set item, this guy, host. This one, and version is version, and that goes there. All right, let's play with it. So add host, local host, should be the last time I ever have to type that, right? And then 80, 90, 81, 90, add. Yeah, it's auto-populated. So if even if I restart the app, add. Nice. That was quick and easy. Let's remove 13 now that we don't need it. And check that in. Cache in local storage. Some fields of add server form. All right. Now let me go back to what I was going to do before this by using the undo mechanism. Fixing broken mechanism which allows server to change version of server. To do this, I need to do what I haven't done for a while from the test environment, which is make a package. And let me find out, where did I actually do I have a script to do this? I know I have a one to make a package. It's like pack prod, right? Maybe it's packager. Is it? Does this have everything in it? The one I'm using in production is lpackprod. Let's see if anything's missing. Is there an admin pem? Yeah. Assets? Yeah. CA certificates? Yes. Credentials? Yes. Key. Signing. Great names, don't you think? Key and signing. Horrible names. Where's the build actually copied? Ah, here it is. And then I don't need to strip it on Windows. Make package. Okay, so I can just do this W packager. And I've made a package, right? Where did it put it? What's null? Hold on. What is null? Oh, it's that. And all my windows got removed. I hate it when that happens. Bring all my windows back, please. Someone had a suggestion for me on how to avoid that. It's like you can disable it in Windows somehow, right? It's when you shake a window, then it minimizes everything else. I never use that feature. Whenever it triggers, it's always by accident. I should take that suggestion I was given and then actually do it. Just shake it again. You sure? Just shake again? No. Not working. Oh, wait a minute. No. It worked, but I had to shake it a lot. Okay, thank you, Piano Boxer. That actually is a good idea. Just keep shaking. Monka shake! Monka shake! Alright. Okay, so yeah, I made a package, but where did it go? Oh, it put it under the stage. So it's stage package zip. Got it. It also took the config. Oh no, that was from something else. Okay, so it's packaged to zip. Now, do I have a script to upload it to the game? I do, but I didn't run it from secrets. Don't. No, I need to run it from the stage, and then it's Python tools deploy a candinal. Let's call it just 2 or 1. Okay, so there's version 1. Downloaded to the server here. So let's now upload a version 2 as well. Now there's a version 2. Now to test this feature, I'm gonna just do it with a follower to start with. Just switch it from default to 1. So it takes it offline and then adds it back in. Okay, of course it's gonna work in test when it never works in production. Think you need to release the mouse button for the second shake? Okay. Let's try this again. Go to version 2, please. So it takes it out of the cluster and adds it back in, right? So this doesn't work in production for some reason. But it works fine in test. Why would that matter? I mean, what would be the difference between test and production? Let me try with the leader. So it becomes a follower. Yeah, it just worked. I don't get it. Why does the universe hate me? How would I reproduce this problem? Is it that it's slower in production? It could be that the stuff I just added fixed it just by mere luck. Okay, I'm just gonna pass on this for now. Have servers retry binding their ports if they initially fail. Yes. So I need to look at the orchestrator to see if I think there was a clause there that if the server doesn't get its port number fast enough, it gets killed. Can you disable arrow shake? Ooh, nice. I'd have to hack the registry though. Thank you, Piano Boxer. I grab that for later. Notes. Wait a minute, watched at 4x again? What does that mean? Are you just falling behind in the points playing with scissors? Hold on. Oh, I see. He's getting within 6 points. You watch videos at 2.5 speed? Oh, I see. I missed what Endurn said. Caught up on YouTube. Time to join chat again. I can't. Well, I shouldn't say I can't. I don't really watch stuff at 2.5x speed because I think it will be annoying, but I've never actually really tried it. It seems handy. I should try that next time I watch a video. Watch it faster. Endorn, I'm just bad with humor. You never watch talks at 1, always 1.5? You've tried to watch at 2x? Is it just too fast? I think it would be difficult to watch myself at 2x because I slur my words still. I've been trying to work on that by speaking a little bit more slowly and eloquently. If I were to talk the way I used to talk, just slurring my words constantly, I would think I would be unintelligible at 2x speed. Because this, I'm not doing anymore. Right, so looking into relaxing server port binding. In case they are, looking into relaxing server port binding on startup. That's what we're doing. Speak really fast right now, so it screws up people watching this at 2.5 speed. It does depend on the content. Some content is more suitable for higher speed content than other. When is Twitch going to implement 2x for... See, now I've really confused someone who's watching me in the future on YouTube, and they're playing at a 2x speed. They're like, what, did I accidentally hit 4x? On plural site videos, you use 1.3x speed. That's interesting. I'll have to play around to see what works for me. I don't know. Okay, relaxing the server port. So this would be in server service, orchestrator service. Let me find where this is done. I don't remember where it is. It's going to be when it's monitoring, right? Server ping, maybe? Process scan. Ah, timeout waiting for private port to be bound. That's the problem. So I could just relax the timeout requirement. This max realm server start time. I have it set to 5 seconds, so I could set it to like 60 seconds or something like that. So yeah, through configuration, I can make the orchestrator back off. So I just need to worry about where we do the bind private, right? Right now it only has one try, and it's during mobilization, right? So I would offload this from mobilization somewhere else, I think. Thing is, can we call that without bind being called? Hmm. 2x on live streams would be great. And you can tell me where the bug is. Yeah. Sure. Looking forward to it. I think it's okay to set these delegates. Yeah, it just sets the delegate. It doesn't actually use it. I think the only thing that we'd have trouble with is if make connection is called and we haven't been able to bind yet. And if send request was sent. Yeah, if either make connection is called or send request is called, that's going to be a problem if we haven't been able to bind the port number yet. So let's search for where make connection is done. Okay, this is connect to servers. Oh, the orchestrator does this. So never mind. Back to the last scan. Oh, I don't care about this. Close this. We don't need to look at orchestrator. There we go. Trying to connect to instances. So it's process server connect. So we probably shouldn't even be calling process server connections if we haven't even bound yet. So where would we make the decision to call that? In our worker thread. Okay, so we could just skip that until we bind our port numbers. How am I gonna actually test this? This is like an integration issue, right? Because there's all sorts of things the server might be doing until this point. Because, yeah, we could be connecting to Twitch and just not be able to play the game, right? I think this is maybe the only one we need to not do until we get our WebSocket, until we get our HTTP and HTTPS ports bound. Let me search again. Connect to servers. It shouldn't be called from anywhere else. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Make connection. Oh wait, we can call make connection. It's just we can't receive them. So take that back. We can continue doing make connection. So make connection isn't a problem. It's receiving them. You know, that's fine. We can't bind a port. We can still connect to other people. We just can't receive one ourselves. So it should just retry then, shouldn't it? Yeah, what if we move the logic for binding and put it in the worker thread? Can I ask the WebGate if it's been bound yet or not? No, but it will know, won't it? No, not necessarily. In fact, there's no guard against calling it a second time, is there? Okay. It just replaces its web connection with another one. Yeah, it doesn't care. So WebGate doesn't care if we call bind a second time. What about unbind? What does unbind do? Oh, yeah, it doesn't care if you call it again. Okay. So, where do we call unbind? Do I ever call that? I do on demobilize, which really never gets called ever. Because we end up just killing the server, we never demobilize it. Okay, so I'm gonna change this to be move socket binding in game servers from initial startup to worker thread. So that will make it so that the game won't fail to start if it can't get its port. It'll just keep having to retry every once in a while. So then this will affect some of my tests, right? In the WebGate? No. In the coordinator, right? Why am I looking when I can just search? It's bind private. Right here. Yeah, one of the many things mobilize does. This insanely complex function. So then the question is, do I have a test for mobilize in the game? Mobilize, I do. What does that actually do? Aha. So the change here would be that becomes false. Let me make sure that wait a minute, what? Why are we doing that? Why that? I don't understand. Okay, we shouldn't have to do that. Oh wait, if I offload this, then the test that... No, wait, it should be fine. Never mind. We should all be... This should all be good. I don't know why I have this check here. This is unnecessary, right? If I take that out, it shouldn't break anything. Why is this taking so long to load? Okay, long load time means I pet the cat. I should just make that a policy. Until I upgrade my computer's hard drive, if it takes 20 seconds to build, that means the cat gets pet for 20 seconds. Run. It does break. Really? True? But this should call demobilize, unbind. Oh. Wait. The test is bad then. This doesn't matter. Yeah. Why am I doing this? We only care that it calls unbind. It should call unbind when we demobilize. That's the only thing that matters. What was Pastor Imu thinking? Alright. We're fine. It's all fine here. Okay, and why is this failing? I didn't mean to hit debug. Wrong one. It's calling that. Oh, I remember why. We're making sure it doesn't get called a second time. So this one should clear it. I remember why that's there then. Yeah. That should be there. This, okay, let me, because it confused me once, let me put a comment here. We clear bound private here because that flag is only set when the coordinator calls bind private. And we want to see here, does a second call to mobilize end up calling bind private or not? Like it's only set and it's only set. Yeah, that's fine. Not perfect. Good enough for government work. Okay, so the one that's really going to fail now is the one I changed up here with... Why is this confused about if we're in the debugger or not? I'm going to reload. It thinks we're in the debugger for some reason. Okay. What was I searching for? It was... bound private, I think. Right, so this test was probably going to fail because we don't want to bind it immobilized now. Run. Cool. All right. So I do want to add a test that it's mobilized. It's mobilized while the worker thread is running. Where do I want to test that? How do I test that? Worker. Oh, there's a way to have it run once. Okay, yeah, that's what we want to do. So back to here. Right, so we have bind public port once server object cluster. Let's have it have bind private port in worker thread. And why do I even have these numbers here? These aren't needed. Okay, so this is actually a race because this starts a thread that might actually beat us and call, well, this isn't, but if I were to just blindly say private there, and then instead of notify server, call its coordinator wait at least one worker thread loop, right? This might get set to true before this is called. So how do I beat it? I'd have to have the worker thread block on something. Yeah, I don't have a debug hook for that. Maybe I need to add one. Like block worker thread until a signal is set. I guess I can add that. Yeah, it's not too hard. I just need to find where is that declared, and then add a similar one. Actually, it's kind of like that one, right? So await or block worker thread. Yeah, just block worker thread, and we'll give it a future to wait for. Continue future. This, yeah. Let's while I'm at it here, let's remove the word this. Block until the coordinates worker thread executes at least one more loop. Block the coordinator's worker thread until the given future is ready. Continue future. This is the future upon which to wait before continuing the worker thread. The coordinator's worker thread. All right. So then where that is implemented, go to it, please. Come on, IntelliSense. Go to definition. There we go. Coordinator block worker thread. Yeah, I think I can leverage the fact that the future, you can ask the future if it's valid. Right? Future. Believe you can ask a future if it's valid. Yeah, check to see if it has a shared state. How do I invalidate it, though? Hey there, Play Poker Badly. How you doing? Oh, and I forgot to say hi to someone. Jummit was chatting earlier and I didn't say hi. Happy Friday, exactly. Happy Friday to you as well. Can I just make a new future? Yeah, validly false. So let's do that. Whenever we want to clear it, we'll just make a new one. So, yeah. So we'll just store it. Impl continue future is... does it have a move constructor? Can I just make this an R value reference so that I can say standard move continue feature? And then we're going to do unlock it, and then, well, no, I don't need to unlock it. There we go. So this can just be a lock guard. And then this thing, let's put it near this worker loop condition. I really need to come back through here and alphabetize everything. Let me call this worker continue feature. That way it'll be sorted near these other variables when I do sort it alphabetically. So it would be like here, worker continue feature. If valid, the coordinator's worker thread will wait for this to become ready before processing before doing anything else. Hey there, Ook. Due to past issues with trolling, accounts need to be at least 1 week old to chat. That I'm not currently enforcing that right now, but it's in the rules because what happened was I would just get people coming in and trolling, and they were all new accounts. It got pretty bad. At one point, we had like a couple dozen people simultaneously follow, join, and start spamming naughty words in chat. So it hasn't happened in a really long time. Knock on wood. And I probably shouldn't talk about it because it'll just encourage people. But yeah, it was a big distraction on the stream, so I had to put that in the rules. But yeah, it hasn't happened in a while, so I haven't really enforced it. I've had people come in with brand new accounts, and they've all been nice people, so I haven't enforced the rule. But if I actually have it set up so that if I need to enforce it, I can. So I have this stream helper now. It marks some of these accounts that are newer than 2 weeks, and I have in here. I can't show it because it's got secrets in there, but there's a configuration screen there where I can turn on a checkbox that the stream helper will auto time out people if they chat and they're a new account. But right now it's off. You're coding an MMO too? Neat. Mine is an old school mud kind of MMORPG. It looks like this. Go to the cavern. So we have some NPCs walking around, have some test objects in the game, have some test particle effects. This is all a test area. I don't have any real game content yet. It's all testing because mine is on a custom engine. Where can you get my stream helper? It's in my GitHub. So it would be, well, if you just go to my GitHub, look for Bouncer. So it would be, let me see if I can complete the link manually here. Bouncer. Yeah. It's mostly for me, so the build system has a lot of dependencies on other things that I made. But yeah, it's a standalone program that helps you moderate a channel. It's a Windows presentation foundation, so it's a Windows.NET app that has a C++ core. So if you wanted to port it to Linux, you can take the core program in C++ and just make a new wrapper around it. But it uses a lot of things. Because I use .NET for it, I also use Swig to adapt it to the C++. And then a lot of the stuff I made myself for like interacting with Twitch and connecting to the network and stuff like that. So for what it's worth, there it is. Yeah, exactly. I play poker backly. It's like a nightclub bouncer. It stands in my channel. If I tell it to, it will auto-kick people for certain things. Any pre-built binaries? I could make one and post it, sure. Let me put that on my list of things to do, because we can do that. So to do, make a build of Bouncer to share. It's definitely got some room for improvement. I made it out of necessity. It also has this feature that I find very handy in that, and this is more hard-coded right now. It's tuned for my stream. it actually, well, if someone is lurking or comes in new and says something in chat, it'll light up something for hi, and that reminds me that I haven't greeted them. And then the stream helper knows when I greet them, it clears the flag. So it's not that the bot auto greets people. It really is me greeting you, but the stream helper helps alert me and remind me that of who I haven't said hi to yet. So that stuff is not completely reusable. It's like some stuff is hard coded for my stream, but I could improve that. A lot of the bots you use got discontinued. Well, the main popular ones out there, like Phantom Bot, and then the ones that are just run as a service, like Stream Elements, they still, I guess they don't, like Stream Elements doesn't do moderation for you, right? So yeah, you're thinking about bots that help you with moderation, right? One thing that I found really useful lately is there's a spam bot going around that will have a website address in it in the first thing it posts. So I have that in a list of forbidden words. Can I show that? Okay, I can't show it because undoubtedly if I showed you what the forbidden word is, someone would type it and then get banned. But rest assured, I have a list of forbidden words, and if you say something from the forbidden words list, my bouncer will kick you out of the channel. And so far, it's 100% success rate. The only accounts that have said it were the actual bots. There's another kind of spam that was going around where it would take your stream title, and Nui likes to tease me about this. We actually had bots come in and just take the stream title and put it in chat along with something like, I'm going to make a stream overlay for you. So that is actually enabled. So don't do that right now unless you are on my whitelist, because if you do it and you're not on the whitelist, the bouncer is going to kick you out. We wouldn't want that to happen, would we? Anyway, I want that future to be used. So if it's set here in the worker, we want to actually check that. I suppose I'll check it right here. Oh, sure, you can link to your project. Go right ahead. There's another viewer of mine who's also making an MMO, and it's based off of Facebook Messenger. And it looks really cool. I haven't been able to play it simply because I've been avoiding using Facebook Messenger, but yeah. It's kind of cool to see other people working on projects that have some similarities. This should be if this valid. Oh, cool. Let me check it out. And not right now, but let me check it out after my stream. Now, the real question is, do you stream it? If so, I'll follow you and check it out. Check out your development of it. But if you don't stream it, that's okay too. More old school test-based browser game? Oh, text-based? Ah, cool. Oh, you do? Neat. Let me give you a follow. Wait a minute. You only have one follower? Now, okay, I'm follower number 2. If you ever stream it, then I'll see you doing it. All right, if it's valid, we want to... Wait a minute. Where's the lock here? Oh, this doesn't get the lock because I designed this in a way that each one of these gets the lock separately. Yeah. So that means I don't need to... Ooh. No, that means I need to make this into another function, right? So this should be... possibly block on continue future. And we'll just make a new method that does that. Void coordinator impl possibly block on continue failure. And that needs to actually, I need a unique lock. Hold on. I never get a unique lock this entire function? Okay, lock guard it is. See, I was a bit lazy here and didn't make a subroutine for that. I should, though. I want this to be unique lock because Why? Because I want to sample it and then check if it's valid and then wait for it. Yeah. So let me declare this near where this is declared. If a continue future has been set for the coordinator, wait for it to become ready. And then remove it. Well, remove it and wait for it to become ready. There we go. So then I want to actually grab it here. So decal type of it, that sample, and then swap it. And then unlock it. Lock, unlock. And then if it's valid, is there no swap for futures? There's no swap, but I can actually just do a standard move, right? Worker, continue future. And then just to make sure, I don't know if I need to do this, but if I do that, we make a new one, which is invalid. And then if it's valid, we're going to wait for it. So, wait. Done. So then I just need to actually, in the test, set it in here, right? Block worker thread from the test. Where is the test? Right here. All right, so we're going to set it here. Coordinator dot block, and then I need to give it a future. Get future. And the continue promise is going to be a standard promise like that, and then basically we're blocking it so that we can do this expectation and then unblock it. Set value. So that should work now. Well, this will fail because this flag will be wrong, but that's okay. Okay, what is my error? Not found. Just, I declared it. Oh, did I misspell it? I did. I misspelled it. It says failure instead of future. It's hard to get people to watch? Yeah, for the very first 100 followers, it's really tough. So what I've done in the past is I will end up rating people who need to get the first 100 or so follows, because I know that no one's watching them. They're buried down in the science and tech really low, right? It's tough to decide when to do that though, because if like you're streaming and you don't have a regular schedule or there's other problems with your stream, then you know those things need to be improved first, I think, for most people to enjoy the stream. But if your stream is set up and you have a regular schedule and it looks good, then if it's just a matter of visibility, I don't mind saying, "Hey, let's check out this new stream." My account is currently, oh yeah, that is true. If you've logged in through Twitch, I have the intent to make that auto unmask. So I could actually unmask you right now if you logged in through Twitch. Let's see if you did. You did not, but that's probably you, right? Administrator. No. Let's not use the word administrator. I have admin blacklisted. So what I would do in this case is I'll just do this since we've already shown the name, right? I like to go in here and say, well, for that user, and say, please pick a different name. The name administrator may be confused with a real administrator account. I can't see how I misspelled it, but oh, okay. So then what I've been doing is people pick bad names or inappropriate names, I'll do that, and if they come back and change it, that's good. If they don't, I'll end up just deleting the account. You're bug testing? Okay, fine. just be aware, I'm not going to unmask you until you pick a name that's not administrator. But yeah, I don't want people to not be able to play at all. I just want them their interaction with other players to be kind of limited. So I don't want the name to show up. I don't want them to be able to chat until they've been vetted, or at least that they've picked a appropriate name. Okay, that was missing apparently. You don't see which message? That you can't chat? I just have it say during the time some game functions may be restricted. Or you don't see the message in the ticket. You might have to go back to the ticket window to see it. That's another bug too. The, hold on, let me show it. There's a bug in the game right now. I just want this window to go over here. Thank you. So let's say that I, as an administrator, go to that account and, well, I'll go to a ticket for that account and let's go to this open one and say, foobar. It won't show up an alert here until you click there, and then it shows the alert that there's an update for that issue, right? That's a bug. So if you're on one of these other panels, it won't show that you haven't seen the update. Oh, you thought it would appear in chat? A masked account can't chat. But also, I've been meaning to turn this off, but I also have chat disabled unless I'm actually logged in as an admin to moderate it. So now chat will work. Now it's going to stop working because I'm logging out. And I go back, and now chat won't work even if you do have a approved account. Oh yeah, you're right. So like, this is a real admin. I have it show up in red as GM, but I don't want to trust on the color alone, preventing people from, well, causing people to. Let me start over. I don't want the color alone to be the only guard against confusing a real admin from a fake one. So like certain names I want to prevent being used. And administrator wasn't on that list apparently. I guess I probably have admin and test and stuff like that on that list. Can't think of them all. All right, I'm going to test this again. Yeah, so Ook, I have like another probably 6 months to a year before I've closed up all of the obvious bugs and holes. We messaged you, it should show up in yellow. Oh, yeah, right now it does highlight it, but only if you hadn't seen it before. I don't have it highlighting admin messages. Yes. Yeah, and it doesn't show up in chat either. It only shows up in the in-game ticket system if it's in a ticket. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, so there are some things I need to work on there, obviously. Okay, so I want to make sure that this fails for the correct reason. Yeah, so it does block because that's getting set. But okay, so now this is ready for me to actually fix this test. The intent here is that this bound private shouldn't be set until we've gone one loop of the worker thread. So then I'm ready to change it now, finally. So that would be, we're going to introduce another thing here. Yeah, it won't be those. The names aren't blacklisted by algorithm right now because I couldn't find a free algorithm that would do profanity checking. So what I've decided to do is just everything is untrusted until a real human looks at it. And I've only blacklisted a few words on purpose. And really, I kind of, part of me wants to just dump the blacklist and say, well, sure, you could use the name admin. It's just that you'll never be unmasked because I'm just going to say you're not allowed to use that name. Yeah, the blacklist is really not needed if I have it people manually vet the names. Okay. Name for this function. I guess bind ports if ready. Or try bind ports, really. Try bind ports. Let's define where that is. Might as well put it here. Why not? Try bind ports. Attempt to bind network ports that still need to be bound. Yeah, and I don't need to return something. It's just something it's going to attempt if it's needed. Do you vet emails too? No. Because the only reason the email is in there is for the user if they need to get their password reset. The only thing that you could do with it is request an email to be sent. And I suppose the worst thing that could happen is someone could register an account with someone else's email address and then hit the request password reset thing, and it would go to someone else. And that someone else could mark it as spam, and it would come back to me, and I would just blacklist the email address, which is what you're supposed to do. People create multiple accounts and troll me. They can do that already now. That's why I masked them. If it becomes a problem, I do have a button in there to just turn it off. So I have suspend mail queue, so I can turn off the email. But like any kind of service, like until I know if it's your email address or not, then at least we have to be able to send one message to confirm it, right? So right now the confirmation email is also the password reset email. Rule 1. What's rule 1? I don't know what rule 1 is. Are you talking about like that? No, I don't know what you're talking about. The troll rule. Oh, that what I have in the stream? I don't quite understand. That's for the stream, not the game. What do I have? It's been a while since I looked at my own rules. What do I have there? Hold on, let me go look. Don't need to watch myself though. I can pause that. Due to past issues, trolling accounts need to be leaked to chat. That's just for the stream, not for the game. So yeah, vetting emails is a different thing, right? You didn't want to be trolled with new account and game. Well, I've already been trolled. It's already been done. So I guess I've just accepted the fact that it's going to happen from time to time, and the way I handle it now is I just don't let them do much. if they troll me after I trust them, then the way I establish trust is I figure it. I generally only trust people if I know them or if I can link them to some account in Twitch or Discord or something like that. They lose my trust, then they just get banned and maybe reported for violating terms of service, right? That's the other thing is my game has a terms of service. I'm pretty sure I put in there that your account can be deleted for any for violating the rules. And I think I should check that. I ought to have that in there, right? To do check TOS to make sure there are rules enumerated which cover trolling. So, like, I want to reserve the right to just delete accounts and prevent them from being created in the first place if I get trolled too much. Player name is not permitted. Please choose another. Oh, you might have picked one that is on the blacklist or that someone else is using. Try bind ports. So this is, I want to put a bookmark there and remove my old bookmarks. This is where I want to move the code that used to be in Mobilize. Your name, it should be permitted. You want me to check to see if someone is already registered? Let me take this off screen. So, last login. I don't see your name as being registered. I don't know why it would say it is not permitted. It should be permitted. Alright, I had to ban an account. That's interesting. Close and lock that one. Yeah, I don't appreciate being trolled or messed with. Let's go back to local and show that here. Alright. Yeah, so the part where we're doing find private, right here. I need to move that. That's going to move here, and we only want to do it once, so I need to know whether or not it's bound. You're testing? Yeah, well, please don't say the F word to me, alright? You can go and create a new one, but please don't do that again. There's a line between testing and then being not nice. Alright. I'm storing the WebGate, right? Where am I storing the WebGate? I'm not seeing that. Oh, am I not storing it at all? Oh, here it is. Yeah. That's I understand what you're doing. Just okay, then what I just did was to test the banning feature to make sure it was working. How about that? Let's stop testing now, right? I appreciate that you're testing, but I don't want to see the F word show up on my screen. Like, you can test it and then remove the word after you've tested it, right? But you left the word in there so I could see it. And that is not cool. Hey there, Juju. Yeah. And it's not enforced right now. Although Monka S. I hope that I don't have to start enforcing it again. In the past, it was a real issue. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to keep a balance between chat and work. So you tried to change it to your name and got an error. But you got an error. You told me that the error was what? The name is not permitted. Not. It's Clark.io. Let's look for not permitted. Bad username. Bad username. Error bad username is if the username is not acceptable. The username will be not acceptable if it has anything other than alphanumeric or if it's in the blacklist. So your name doesn't have any letter outside of this range and it is not blacklisted. So you shouldn't have gotten that message unless you picked a character that's not A through Z, 0 through 9, and not in the blacklist. Thank you for the rate, Clark.io. How was your stream today? That's a lot of emotes. Oh there, WW Sean and Copper Beardy. My friend, how are you doing today? Obsidian Talon and .commie and Doug the Coder. This makes you want to change your nickname to bad username? No, this is the safeguard I have in my game for people putting in like weird characters and blacklisted names. We're just reviewing that for a little bit. Hey there, Callow Creation. How are you doing? So today, I've been trying to focus on improving and fixing bugs in the deployment of my game. So I've been working mostly on this screen, and I added the port numbers for my game servers, and I've been working on improving stuff here. And what was the one that I'm working on now? What does it say above my head? Move socket binding. Yeah. So one problem I'm running into is when I add when I remove a server and add it back, sometimes it can't get the port number that it needs, and it was just giving up. So I'm moving the logic so that instead of it giving up, right now it's going to repeatedly try to bind a port every loop in its worker thread when it's not bound, and that's what I was working on right now. And if you've never seen my stream before, there's a short YouTube video that gives an introduction. And you can also try just logging in. You can log in through Twitch into my game. There's no content yet. It's a work in progress because the engine is still under development. So it's all test stuff. Like, this is the test environment I have locally on my computer. Similar thing online. So there's just going to be a few NPCs. You can talk to some of them. Other ones are going to attack you. That you can find objects in the game. And there's only a limited amount of graphics so far. Yeah, I saw that screenshot. What would you like me to do about the screenshot? You had a dash in it. Yeah, the dash isn't permitted. That's not your name in Twitch, though. That's your name with a dash in it. Yeah. See, a ton of work has gone in already? Yeah, so it's been about a year and a half that I've been working on this. It's all custom stuff. The only things that I didn't write are the SSL layer, zlib, and some of the libraries I use in the front end. So I use Phaser for the graphics here, and I use React and Redux for the rest of the app. Those are libraries I didn't write. Twitch won't allow dash. Yeah, so Twitch doesn't allow it, and my game doesn't allow it either. Sorry. No dash is allowed. I guess it's sort of an arbitrary rule for me. The only thing I didn't want to permit in the names were weird glitch text and Unicode sequences that would allow you to mask your name and make it look different than it really is. Got it, Ook. Yeah. So you can just, if it's just testing, then just create another account. But yeah, no F words, please. Will you at some point write your own engine? What do you mean? You mean instead of using Phaser or React and Redux? I'm more interested in making the back end of the game. So this front end is sort of always intended to be a light client, and I don't really care if I'm using other libraries. But the back end is mostly my own engine. The only things, like I said, only things I didn't write are the ones parts that are more complicated that I'm not really don't have the expertise in, the SSL, the zlib, that kind of thing. Yeah, so anybody has a question, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to keep working. Oh, instead of Phaser, yeah. I would like to know WebGL and maybe replace Phaser with just WebGL stuff. But I'm more interested in getting my game off the ground. But yeah, it's on it's on the back burner somewhere. It shouldn't say sorry only. Ah, that's a good point, Ook. I can give you a point for that. That's your first point, so I'll give you 2 points. I can add that to the list. To do change feedback about name issues. Sure. That's a good point. Yeah, right now it just says it's not acceptable. It doesn't say why, right? Yeah. Okay. That's because it's in messaging. That implies that I should probably move this to messaging class, shouldn't I? Let's do that. So let's take try bind ports and move it to messaging. Where's my code? I have too many files in this project. Okay, it's here. Where do I put this? Supposed to try to keep it alphabetical? It's not alphabetical at all, is it? Again, I'm just going to add it to the end because I'm lazy. I'm going to take this and move it to messaging as well. To the end. To the end it goes. This is messaging. So I can remove that part of it. And then this becomes messaging dot try bind ports. And then I think we only want to attempt it if it's not already bound. So it should say if private port bound return, right? And then if we are actually able to bind it, let's just set it to true there. So let's make that a new variable. Yeah, just put it here. False. This tracks whether or I can't type now. Whether or not the private port of the web gate has been bound. Oh, no problem, Ook. We will fix that. So I think we also want to clear it when we do unbind. Unbind. Or does it really matter? Yeah, should clear it here, I guess. All right, so let's see if that passes my test now. Build. Okay, run. Yay, passing the tests. Let's run them, all the ones in this suite. Nice. Might as well just start that running. How am I going to test this for real? I need to like have some other program bind a port number and then just keep it bound for a while. And then stop that program and then verify my server can actually start working. Class is your favorite? Yeah, C++ very low level, so it's different. If you like low level programming like embedded stuff, then it can be pretty fun. I don't have a program handy, but can I make one that just binds the port and holds it open? How fast would it how easy would that be would it be to make one really quick? Probably not that hard. So to do that, let me go to the outermost make file. CMake lists at the top. And let's just add a program out here. This could just be temporary. So add executable. What are we going to call it? Order. Hoarder.cpp. And then we're going to make a new file called hoarder.cpp. And I think also I'm going to need some dependencies. So I'm going to steal some stuff from here. Yeah. Target link dependencies would be nice. Hoarder. We need system abstractions. Let's go to hoarder.cpp and just minimalistic. So include standard IO, int main. Wait, why type it when I can just find it? I've written it so many times. In fact, let's just grab an example main here. Complete with unnecessary memory leak check. And then I don't want to worry about what to include to get that. So what I need is system abstractions network endpoint. So I'm just going to make one of those, and I'm going to want to what do I call sig or use sig int? Yeah. Yes. And yeah, let's grab all that stuff. Interrupt handler. I don't need any comments because this is just really, really temporary code. And we need signal. Shut down. So I'm just going to do this, right? So include thread at thread. Oh, thank you for the follow, Doug. The thread. Okay, I don't have shutdown declared. There we go. And this, I can just hard code this, who cares? All right, and then between there and there, we're just going to get a network endpoint. System abstractions, network endpoint, port, well, endpoint. Endpoint dot open, right? And I need a connection delegate. Let's have a guard against it failing. Printf as standard error feels bad man. Okay, let's see what open requires. Okay, it requires a new connection delegate, a packet delegate, and a mode. Okay, so this is this kind of a function. Let's say it does nothing. And then this kind of function does nothing, because I don't care about these. These delegates I don't care if they do anything or not, because I just want to hold the port number open. And then what's the mode? Mode connection, don't we? So that's mode connection. And then the local address, that would be localhost, which is 7F000001. And then these are irrelevant. So that's the group address is irrelevant. Port number 8084. We'll just tie up that port number as our test. And then if we get to this, it's return exit failure. Return exit success. Printf. K thanks bye. Squatting successful. Press Control C and possibly Enter as well to quit. Build it. So this class endpoint, and this is from one of my libraries, and it's representing a server port. It's just going to hold this port number open and do nothing with it. So if I wanted to do something about incoming connections, I would implement something here in this delegate. If I wanted to do something about receiving datagrams, I'd do something in that delegate. Otherwise, yeah, it's just doing nothing right now. But it should work. So if I go here, let's stop my servers. From this window, I'm going to go to build, and then I'm going to go to, actually it should be right here, hoarder. So it's squatting on that port number, right? So now if I make the build of the server and run it, we should have one server which will have trouble binding the port number. It's going to do it. It's going to constantly keep trying to bind it, and it's going to keep failing. Oh, you know, I probably should have had something printed when it fails and stuff like that, right? Messaging. It's at the end, right? Yeah, it's not actually printing anything. Well, this will print something, right? Won't this print a message? Is it going to complain? That won't complain. Where's the server port? Or is this the server port? It is a server port. Okay. I bet this will complain, though. Yeah, we'll either see now listening or we'll see it error, right? Oh. Maybe it's in bind network. Here. I think we'll see it. Endpoint open? We'll see error. We'll see one of these errors, right? Error in bind. We'll see error in bind over and over again, I think. Like every 20 milliseconds. It's going to spam it. Okay, so that's fine. That's good. All right, so it's built. That's still linking. I'm waiting for my compiler. That means the cat's going to get pet. Cat's going to get pet while we wait. Can't pet the cat too much or else he gets annoyed at me. All right. So Jujubox asks, C++ doesn't have regex support? Sure it does. I know you asked this a long time ago, like 18 minutes, but there is a standard regex, and I use it in a few places. Here's a notable one. Something that matches this pattern you can use on the Twitch IRC protocol to log into a channel anonymously. If your name starts with if you do a sign in with Justin Fan and then numbers, you don't require a password and you'll be anonymous. You can't chat, but you'll receive chat. So yeah, there is regex, and that's how you define a pattern. And the way you use it is like just regex max, a regex match. Where's a more exotic version of this? I guess I've only been using with simple like yes no matches. Hi, you're Justin Fan 715209? No. I think you're not a fan of Justin. You can't be a fan of Justin. I think you're a just out fan. Not a just in fan. Is this done compiling yet? Okay, good. Build it again. All right, so we can... This is still squatting on the port number. I can w update rvs and then serve, and then we should get a whole bunch of errors. Okay, why did that actually work? Oh, yeah, it's not working. Where's the error from? Oh, we're not seeing the error because it doesn't actually... Hold on, wait a minute. It would be server 10, right? Hold on. How is this possible? How can it be the leader, but we can't connect to it? Oh, because I'm holding up the public port number. I didn't do the right port number. I did the public one, not the private. So this works, but we can't talk to it until yeah, I did this wrong then. Stop. Let me stop the squatter. I want to actually squat on a different port number. Go back to hoarder. I want 71 or 8184. Hey, all the fireflies and Ismet, how are you two doing? Came for the code, stayed for the dad jokes. Nice. Well, you know, I am a dad, so I have a license to tell dad jokes. I'm not very good at remembering jokes, though. Okay, hoarding, squatting on one port number, and this would start, and this should now have real problems. Yeah, connection broken. Oh, wait a minute. What is that? It was killed or something? Hold on. I think the orchestrator is mad. Aha. Yeah, we can't... Is it because is it confused about which process is running? Hold on, let me look. Scroll up. We don't want the orchestrator to kill it. No, it does launch one. Oh. It's trying to connect to it even though it doesn't have it bound. Unable to connect. Okay, this is a problem in the orchestrator then. Service. Unable to connect. Yeah. This connection future should never be set up until we verify that that server has bound that port number. Got Zookeeper wired up for config management during pair programming today. Nice. Cool. Why did this pop up? Ooh. Front end bug. We're trying to send a message to a socket that's not open yet, I think. Still in connecting state. Interesting. So how did we get this? It was 10, so it's in the map there. Connected is true, but it's not connected? What? Oh. It tried to connect to the hoarder, and it disconnected immediately. So this is a race condition of some kind. Yeah, it tried to send a message, and it got disconnected. Okay. So when we get disconnected, I need to clear that flag. I think I forgot to do that. Whoa, you linked your account. Hold on. We can fix that. Let's go to unmask your account. Yep, you're linked, so we can trust you. Yay. Where are you? You're there. Well, whenever you're ready, step through the magic door there. That's the only way out of the hallway between the worlds. By the way, you can also change what you look like in the game. Do I still have my window open? No, I closed it. Open it again. Oh, the game's offline on the test environment, and I have to go into the production environment here. You can change what you look like on this screen here. For a limited time only, you can pick your avatar. It will unmask automatically. That's a ticket that's not yet resolved. So if you go into the issues, which is this link, there's two ways to report issues in my game right now. You can do it in-game, but there's also this GitHub thing. So there's a ticket in here to auto-unmask players who link their Twitch. I just haven't gotten to that yet. I know it's been a while. We first reported in July, but I'll get to it eventually, I promise. I promise I'll get to it. Right now I just do it manually. Usually it's either after the stream or during the stream if I notice someone has linked their account to Twitch, like that, and they're still masked, I'll just hit the unmask button for them. For a limited time only, but don't call yet. Yeah, you are Ook. You're in the hallway between worlds right now. So this right here has a trigger, which is type step, and the type of trigger is a transport trigger. It's going to transport you to this point in the game, which is the other zone. Hey there, Matt and Ook. Hi. All right, back to here. This connection feature, where do we set that? Connection feature, let's search for that. Within service.cpp. Oh, wait. Not done. Is it done in main? Hold on, then how is this? Oh, what is this? Oh, we do it with make connection. Okay, all right. So I need to look for make connection. So we connect to it here and connect to servers. Aha. Wait. We should get into here. And we should be doing a continue. So why is it going out to here? I don't get that. Oh, it's not linking. It's not. It is not requiring the process. No, it is requiring the process to agree. Wait a minute. How did that become true? If we have that check in there, because this said it was launching process 7444. But then we're not, this one doesn't have it bound, it's someone else. Okay, there's a bug here somewhere. When it launches the process, it should only kill it if it tried to connect and it couldn't, but it shouldn't even be trying to connect because it shouldn't have bound its port yet because another process should have bound it. Oh yeah, there's a little bit more content, Matt. Should I walk through what's been changed? So I added a few things. Most notably, there's an armor in the game now. I just added that because I was getting tired working on an algorithm, and I'm like, I need a break from that, so I made this armor NPC. He will, for 20 gold, give you a suit of armor that will give you damage reduction. Having problems resetting your password? You didn't get the email instructions? Is the email set right? Do you have a really, really old account, 2H? Oh yeah, you have a really old account. Oh, no, you logged in late October. Your account is pretty old. That's like one of the oldest accounts. Tell you what, 2H, if you, well, if you create another account, and, I don't know how we do this. I need to be able to know it's you for sure, and then I can merge the two accounts by dropping the old account a password, and it would use the new one. Alternatively, if you wanted to, you could log in with Twitch, and I would know immediately it's you. And then after the stream, I just merge the accounts, and then basically that old password would be gone. Yeah, right now, if you don't link with Twitch, the only way to reset the password is to have the email thing work. You might, I don't think you've logged in through Twitch. It would have shown up here. How do I show this with only showing Twitch? It's interesting. It's matching STR in these, but we can't see the names. Is that predating logging with Twitch? I can't remember when I added the feature. If it was in late October or what. But yeah, there are a couple ways we could resolve it. Make a new account, and then if it's through Twitch, then then I'll know it's you, and then I'll totally merge the accounts. But we could figure out another way for you to. Can you see which email you used? I can get it if you give me permission to look at it. I'm trying not to look at personal information. You want me to log into the server and like maybe whisper you what the server thinks the email address is on that? I'm assuming it's your account because it's the same name. You remember Twitch integration was already back then? But it doesn't have you linked though. I know, let me take a peek. Off screen, of course. Game.snapshot. Oh yeah, you are linked to Twitch. Why is it not showing up then? Oh, because it predates the data migration. So yeah, you are linked to Twitch. 3729. Wait a minute. How come that doesn't show up as a character entity? Hold on. What's going on here? There are two entities named 2H Strike. Oh wait, no. You have your points. You have 13 points stored in the database. So if I do points 2H Strike, but it's under a different entity, so that means you never actually linked it to a in-game character. Your in-game character is a different entity. And that one is not linked to Twitch. Right now, at least. Okay. There's no email set on that either. 2H Strike. That account has no email set. Yeah. This one, no email address is in the database. So if you want, I can just delete the account if it's yours. I don't think you actually have anything on that character anyway, right? I mean, there's not much data in that account anyway. You don't even have any items in your inventory. So the only thing you'd lose is the low numbered ID and entity. If you want to keep them, then you know what you could just do is make a new account, and then I'll merge the accounts later. Yeah, let's just try that. Just make a new account, and then I'll merge the I'll merge it into the old ID. Just delete it. Yeah, just create a new one with a slightly different name, and then I'll merge them later. Yeah, that's the easiest. You can't sell things yet. You can only buy things. And you've noticed the treasure chest I put in the game there? This one? There's some armor in there, but this predated the armorer. So, oh no, it's open. Why did I leave it open? That shouldn't be open. Did you manage to pick? No, you didn't. You didn't actually manage to pick anything up. And Matt didn't pick it up either. Good. Because really, I want you to be buying armor from this guy. I can give you enough money to buy it if you want. Here, we'll give you 23 gold. And also, I'll be nice and I will clone the gold and also give that gold to Ook. There you go. Here's some gold. So you should be able to talk to this armorer and get some armor. Yeah, I meant to close off that chest, and I guess I forgot. Actually, when you buy it, I should see your gold drop. Oh, wait, what happened to Matt's gold? What happened there? Huh. I guess I accidentally took your gold. Yeah, the sword giver. Oh, so you bought his armor, so you can equip it in your armor slot, which you just did. Nice. So now you'll have, it's not shown, but you'll have 2 points of damage reduction. And Matt has bought armor as well. Thank you for that follow. All right. I need to find out why this is not getting hit. Or if it is getting hit, why it gets into here. Oh, we should have seen this, though, right? Oh, if it's false. All right. But I didn't see that. I saw launched, connecting, unable to connect, broken. And there's only one make connection, right? Make connection. Yeah, there's only one right there. And we only get there if all these other things fall through. So it won't go into that if. It'll skip that because we don't have a WebSocket open yet. It's going to go into the configuration, get the port number out. The host will match, so it should go in. This should not be 0. It's going to go through all the process list and look for which process has... It's going to look for the process that we launched. Hold on. How do we... There's something not right about... It shouldn't have launched it. Now that I think about it, it should have thought the other program was it, and then it would have killed it. So what's going on here? I need to look for this processes. Recognize which processes are running which servers. Oh, it's going by process name, I think, right? Hold on, where is it going by? Image name. Yes. Oh, okay. That's how it knows which one is which, because I have them under unique path names. Okay, so it should find it won't be running, so to launch it. Still doesn't explain why it's killing it though. This is a problem. There's some kind of username moderation? Yeah, there is. We were just talking about that earlier. Yeah, so all of these, we don't know who they are. They could be trolls, right? So they're prevented from chatting, and also their name doesn't show up, so they can't stream snipe. The worst they can do is kind of walk around in my view here. But if that using the chest is kind of confusing, yeah, sorry. Right now the chest is closed. You can't open it. I don't have a way to open it right now. You want to take us for that kind of stuff? What helps me best, I think, if you're willing, is to put it into the issues list, which I closed. Why did I close that window? This one right here that looks like this. Then you can see if there's already a ticket open. So like for the mask or unmask. Actually, that's interesting. Mask, if you search for mask, it doesn't find those bugs, but if you do unmask, so like if you were to search and you find there's already something open for the bug, then you wouldn't accidentally open a duplicate. But if you're not comfortable like opening a ticket here, because then I know what it sort of reveals who you are in GitHub, right? Because I don't think you can open a ticket anonymously. If you want to do it anonymously, there's the in-game ticket system, which people have been using. Like this one, A Squared was using it. So that I'll end up taking these, like I have written here, that I end up making a GitHub thing myself, just so that I don't forget about it. But then I do sometimes forget about it, like A Squared reminded me, oh, I already resolved it. I'm not perfect. Thought I noticed something funny there. Okay. I think I might want to add more messages here to figure out what's going on. Okay, let me walk through this again. This should be... It should not find it. Because that process shouldn't have that port open. So it should be equal to n. So this should be false. So we should have seen that... Oh, wait. That diagnostic message is being filtered out. Okay, and then I need to do this again with lower level diagnostics. So type wserve. This window's annoying me. It's right. Stage that -d0 localhost. Now let me see what we get. The squatter was still squatting. Should call it squatter, not hoarder. Yes. Installing, launching. Not yet bound its private port, not yet bound its private port. Then why did it think it bound it at that point? This is a problem. This is a bug. It's the wrong process has bound it, and then it kills the wrong process. Let me add some debugging code in here. Let's add an else. How do I want to do this? I guess just a loop. We're going to loop for auto port and process TCP ports. I don't have access to that. I guess I could print it there. Print it here. If has bound private port, then print it out. And then some kind of diagnostic message here. Process blank has bound port, whatever this type is, uint8. So that's PRIU16. And then this will be process ID and port. Issue. What is this issue? That's a screenshot when Nui... What's the right term? Utilized a feature in the game where swords were being just auto-generated here, and Nui came in and would pick them up and drop them off somewhere and come back and pick up more. And that was between streams, so when I started a stream one day, I saw, oh, this is the whole world of the game at one point. It was all populated with swords at one point. Lore spam, yeah. So, although it was humorous, I didn't want it to disrupt the stream too much, so I feel a little bit bad about it, but I ended up removing them. But we do have the screenshot to prove it. Oh, 2HI linked account. Okay. Hold on, are you not logged in anymore? Wait a minute. Why does it not show up in game here for Twitch? I'm assuming it's this player, right? But why doesn't it show Twitch there. Do I need to reload? Oh, is that a bug in my players panel? It is. There's a bug in my players panel. The Twitch information doesn't show up. All right. Bug. Newly linked Twitch accounts don't show up in user panel. All right. So what I'll do with 2H Strike is I will merge these two accounts and give you the low numbered ID and entity number, and just everything this player ends up having will get absorbed into this entity so that you can keep your low numbered account. The points migrated successfully though, that's nice. All right. Yeah, that's what I want to see there, right? What's the process ID? Unsigned in, okay. And I don't need to build it here, actually. I need to build it out here. I don't have a whole lot of VIP slots. I end up giving out VIP slots to people who end up, yeah, contributing in chat and are frequent or regular viewers. If I had a lot of VIP slots, I would give it out to all the nice people, but I think I'm at the limit right now. Okay, so this should be ready to go. No, I need to do a update RVS first. Then I can do this. Okay, and then I saw that magic message up there. So this is flat out wrong, right? Because I can tell you that which process has that bound. Let me find this. It's still actually running. Let me find it. It's my hoarder. Where is the hoarder? Here it is. And to see the port number, I click on that one. Actually, I can just double click it, right? Yeah, 8184. So why does this one think the process ID 6968 has bound it? It shouldn't. So there's some bug in the process port list thing. This one, where maybe I don't understand this variable then. Okay, where does this processes come from? Connect to servers, okay. Get process list, okay. Enum processes, and then we end up fetching from the TCP table all of the port numbers from the owning PID. Spam attack? Yeah, but there's a cooldown. Oh, I made the cooldown very, very short for your fists, but when you're using a sword, it's a longer cooldown. Yeah, so it's a quarter. You murdered all the ogres? How'd you do that, Matt? Oh, do you have a special weapon? Well, how did you get the ogres then? They should be... Oh, were you guys as a group going out there? Or did I screw up the balance? You kited them. Aha. So you found a way around my the AI then. All right, Matt's going to show us how he's kiting them. You probably bring them out to a spot where they get stuck, but don't want to attack, right? Here's Matt. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're taking advantage of the fact that they can't attack until the next move. Yeah, okay. So I'll have to just come up with a way to prevent that kind of gameplay, right? Or maybe Matt, if you're the only one who can do that, then it's a skill. There's already another exploit you can do where you can have someone be the tank because the first player that they aggro on, they actually hold that aggro permanently. So every other player can go in there and attack forever and never get attacked. Using the attack that they... Yeah, exactly. So I could fix that by allowing them to attack immediately after moving. This part should be relatively easy. These guys back here should be tough, though. If you could use that technique. I guess I see Matt still getting hit sometimes. These guys should one-shot you. But if you can get them without them attacking even a single time, then sure. Okay, here he comes. I don't think he'll actually step very far. Yeah, that's his limit. When they step to hit here, they return. And until he gets back home, he won't attack you unless he's standing right next to you. Watch out. Yep, he killed you. You're dead. And now you're alive again. Yeah, so these guys have a lot of... So these guys should be pretty difficult. Because if he gets one hit off of you, he could slay you. You're doing a pretty good job there. One more. You did it. And you earned the reward. How much gold is that? Oh, you've accumulated quite a pile of wealth there. Bravo. I think I'll let that stand. Let's go back to the starter town. Hey, there's Playing with Scissors, who has the special sword there, which has a special graphic. No XP or levels yet. That needs to be added. I was thinking about that this morning, actually. That maybe the next piece of content would be to try to balance the game and add experience and levels. Okay, what I don't get is why that process shows up with that port number, even though the other program has that port number. Why does that show up there? Oh, wait. I think I know why. It's binding it on a different network interface. All right, then I know what the problem is. I'm not squatting on every single port. This should be a 0. And I won't be able to build it because it's running. So stop it. Then build it. Then run it again. Yeah. Then I got the thing, are you sure you want to let this program hold this port number? Yes. Okay, and then... So this should be okay then. I should be able to just do serve. And it should constantly say that it's still waiting for it to get the port number, right? Right, so... Okay, I think I found out the problem. I was binding one network interface, but not the others. So then, that I'm looking at the wrong server. Oh, it's gonna have a problem even connecting to it, right? Yeah, so 1 out of 3 times it won't even connect to it. How is it running then? Yeah. How is that possible? How could it be running as a follower if nothing can connect to it? Oh, there it got killed. No, now it's running again. Wait, I don't get it. How are we connected to it? And how is it getting stats? What happened there? Right, we killed it because of the timeout. Wait a minute. Between here and here, what's going on? It's like they gave up trying to talk to the other server. I expected all of these, because that's the other program that's squatting on the port number. What I don't get is why this would ever go green. And if so, I mean, okay, it could get its public port number, right? But how the heck is it getting statistics from the leader server if they can't talk to each other? That should be impossible. Unless these stats are corrupted. Hold on, what the heck? It's a copy of 11, isn't it? No, it's not exactly. It's slightly different. Let me look at the network here. Which one are we looking at? There are too many sockets. I need to refresh. That's actually probably enough, so I can now look at the... Right, it shouldn't be able to connect to this one, right? Oh no, it's getting stats from it. How? How's that possible? Oh, thank you, Matt. Is one sword armor only right now? Yeah, I added graphics for a few other items, but I haven't gotten to it yet. This should not be possible for it to know what the correct term number is and for it to be getting messages from the leader, because that socket is not available. Oh wait, no, it is. It's okay, I know what it is. I blocked one port but not the other. Okay, yeah, this is possible. But the orchestrator can't talk to it. But it can talk to the other servers. That makes sense. Thank you for that follow. Oh, thank you, Ook. Just anyone looking at my game, just remember it's still very, very early work in progress. So hopefully it gets better later. But most people, when they see computer games, they're seeing either a finished product or like an early access or maybe even an alpha. All of those are like way more advanced than the point I'm at. I'm at like pre-alpha right now. Okay, so I have an explanation for this. It's that even though server 10 can't be connected to, it is connecting to 11 and 12. And so once 10 connects to 12, 12 can reply back to 10 through that socket connection. The reason why it's going red is that the orchestrator is like times out waiting to talk to it and then just kills it and starts it up again. It's actually kind of cool that the game is so resilient. The game is still running even though the network is semi-crippled. Okay, so then to complete the test would be while watching here, I guess, just to stop this one. Now the other server should be able to bind its port and get it, right? Yeah. So that feature's done then. Should I offer some cosmetic point awards? Yes, I'm going to do that. That's one of the overarching hooks for the game. I have this under notes for hooks. Where do I have that? Was it in Cornerstones? Where'd I put the list of hooks? It wasn't there. I can't see it now. In-game chat is dead until I log back in. Sorry. I should just turn that on. Now you should be able to do it. Right now I have a restriction. The admin has to be connected for chat to work. Where did I have that? Oh, maybe it was an overview. Yes. Here we go. Hooks. So tying it into the Twitch stream is in-game perks and rewards to stream supporters, live events, and that it's evolved on stream. So this in-game perks and rewards is tied to the point system. So you support the stream, you get points. Those points you can redeem for in-game perks and rewards. So that's the intent of the point system. How'd you get that list thingy? Yeah, it's in OneNote. Note. Oh, thank you, Nui. Yeah, so this is all public. That should lead you to here, and then that. Yeah, I just forget that I have this overview section. I spend most of my time in log and notes. So yeah, the in-game, the points right now are for in-game rewards. They just don't exist yet. I suppose I could start making them, right? So like, for example, some players, like, we were looking at playing with scissors, right? To see playing with scissors again, I gotta click that and then do open. Yeah, so playing with scissors has a special sword, right? So we could have, I even have an artwork for that special sword. We could allow you to have a special sword if you have 20 points, and we don't even need to really let you redeem it. You can just, you can have a status at 20 points, then you can redeem, you can get the sword. We could do this. We could do something like that. Hey there, Marco. How are you doing? And we've been talking to 2H Strike for a while, and I never actually waved hi to 2H Strike. I'm so sorry about that. Log into OneDrive, create a new OneNote file. Yeah, it's all free, the OneNote. In fact, it comes with Windows 10 now. So, yeah, what was I going with this? We're done with PWS. This bug I actually fixed in the test environment, that those don't close. Okay, so I'm ready to check this in then, right? So the private port now is bound. We just keep trying to bind it. How does that keep getting created? Oh, do I have something redirect to NULL somewhere? Ooh. CMD. Do I have a null? Oh, I do. That should be NUL. Interesting bug. This null file is getting created. Remove null. Let's check that in separately. Fix bug in scripts adding null file. Or really creating. Okay. Do I want this hoarder? I don't think it's really, well, no, I'm going to reuse it in a minute for the public port. So, yeah, this is the change in the tests. So I do want that. I don't need this anymore, right? So I can just abandon that one. Figured out what was going on there. Abandon that change. Need that change. And this is where the code used to be to try to bind. And then we moved it to the messaging where we do it here. Yeah. And we have a flag that goes along with it. And this is for testing. And there's where we that's a test hook, and there's where we actually do the binding now. Okay, cool. So that all goes together. So fix issue where server would give up trying to bind its private port if it could not bind it at startup. Until the private port is bound, keep trying to bind it every worker thread loop. So this is make servers more resilient to in binding private port. Commit that. All right, let's keep the hoarder for now. And I want to move on to if the public port not getting bound. So that is bind public. Hey there, BZ. I don't know. May you help me? I don't really need help right now, but if I do need help, I'll let you know. Unless you have something to offer. Because I'm good for now. Let me find where this is done. It's here, right? Yeah, so we try it once, and if it fails, we don't try again. So how to test this? I think, again, we just want to move it to the worker thread. I think we do it based off of this flag, actually. So then, where do I simulate this? Is this here? Yeah, it's here. Oh, this is in the webgate, so we don't care about that. Oh, really? I don't have a test for it. There's no hits in the right place, so that means there's no test for that code. I thought that there was. Hmm. Is there something that you want to talk about, BZ? Because right now you're just distracting me. Let's see. There must be a test for this. Where would it be? I guess I will search for this, but without whole word. Busy? I'm working, but I'm also trying to talk with chat. So I'm just confused. You said, may I help you? And then you said offer some, and then you said busy. I'm not sure what you're getting at. So that's why I'm asking, like, can I help you, or what do you want? Otherwise, if you're just chatting, that's fine. It's some kind of easy. I don't know what you mean. So maybe there's a language difference, and I'm not understanding what you're trying to say. Let's see. I think I want to look for the words caught up. I'm looking for a test that mentions this. Yeah, well, not in ECS. Maybe here. Daily report. It's not these tests. There should be a test for bind public port when server is caught up. I'm surprised I don't have one. Connect when enabled? No. Hmm. Ooh, here we go. Bind public port once server caught up to cluster. Okay. Yeah, this is the thing. I want to have a test that it tries multiple times. Yeah. So let's make another test. Say, okay, let me fix the case for this. This is snake upper. Bind public port retry if not successful. There we go. That's the test I want. Ah, I see. Yeah. I only know English, a little tiny bit of French, and I know a few words of Spanish, and that's about it. But hi, BZ. Hello. All right, so to arrange this test, I need to I need the mock WebGate to return false when you try to bind public the first time. So I put a bookmark there. Let me search for where that's set up. Actually, let's just search for it here. Here's where it's set, right? So let me have this conditional. So we'll say if allow bind public to do this. Actually, just return this, right? Return allow bind public. All right, so then here's the variable we want. And we'll default it to true to not screw up any tests. But then in the test I made a bookmark for right here, this should say mock WebGate allow bind public false. Then we're going to notify the server caught up. And because we're going to be doing the check in the worker thread, right? We'll just kick the worker thread for one loop, but then expect it to be false. And then we'll have it try again. So this will be set it to true, wait for one more worker thread, and then expect true. Yeah, that's what I want. That's the test that I want. So yeah, Matt, if it's relevant to what we're talking about, or if it's would help out someone in chat or help me out, then that's fine. If it's not relevant, you could still post in my Discord if you want. Discord. There it is. I even have a channel there called Off Topic. If you just would like to post something cool, then you're welcome to post something there. Is it some changes you did to UI styles, not super relevant, just ideas? Oh, yeah. I mean, if chat is slow, I don't mind you posting something like that. Yeah, you can always post it in the Discord at any time. Your desktop just blue screened to death? Oh no. Oh, you're tinkering with, yeah, then that's just totally relevant if you're tinkering with my game's layout. What'd you do? Ooh. This requires more horizontal space. That's the only concern I have. So I haven't done anything like that because I've really had trouble with horizontal space, especially for the admin side. But maybe normal player would be better like that, right? I'll give you 5 points for that. Oh, you haven't gotten points before? I'll give you an extra point. There, now you have 6. I like that idea. Because the game is going to be predominantly text-based, right? And, oh, this just showed me that Slickver came in and I missed it. Hey there, Slickver. How are you doing? One of the founders of the stream. Yeah, this would give more real estate for the chat, which is kind of what I want. The other thing, one problem this might be, people have requested to be able to zoom this in bigger. But you know what we could do? We could zoom that in bigger and put this all down at the bottom too, right? Yeah, different layout ideas. You know, the other thing we could do is have these panes draggable or have alternative layouts. You really had to do is take the flex and have it go reverse row. Yeah. So it really wouldn't be too hard to make it flexible in the UI, right? Make the inventory open and closable. Yes. Or maybe have the inventory be a different panel altogether. There's all sorts of different variations of it, right? Yeah, I like it. I like these ideas. Because I am not the best at this design stuff. My friend Adam Sayunis is much better at this than I am. Shout out to him. He is an actual UX designer who's also a pixel artist and a game designer. He would be much better at this than I am. There are quite a few dockable frameworks out there, and hi that noob. This is for the front end, so I guess I don't really care using something else. Yeah, let's try to keep it English only. Otherwise, I have to stop and translate it to make sure it's acceptable chat. Sorry about that, but yeah, English only, please. All right, so this is built, right? And I obviously need to rescan because it didn't find my test. And run, and of course it's going to fail because we haven't implemented it yet. Did it fail in the expected place? Yes. So after we open it up and go another loop, it should be allowed to bind, right? All right. So the other thing is we're changing when it gets bound. So this ought to go here as well. In fact, on a lot of places where we count on bound public, we're going to have to wait a thread loop. I guess there aren't any other places where we do it, so we're fine. Can you post links here? Sure, if it's about dockable stuff, yeah. And then I'll not only can you post them, I'll put them in the notebook because I'll probably want to look at them later. Let's make a command playing with scissors. Add com links. What do we want to say? Links relevant to the discussion in chat or to what Ramu is working on or to Omnia Reina itself. Links are encouraged, are allowed and encouraged if relevant. For off-topic links, please use off-top. Is it off-topic? Or is it off-topic? Off-topic. Please use off-topic in Discord. I like the way you said it, though. You shortened it. Links are always allowed as long as they're relevant and family-friendly. Can I just incorporate what you said? Mine is kind of long, though. I don't know. What do you think, playing with scissors? Should I try to incorporate what I said to what you said, or just keep yours? I think I'm going to keep yours because it's shorter. Yeah, I'm over explaining it. We'll keep what you said. I just got texted again. Hold on. Did I screw up? Oh, yeah, I did. Hold on. I was supposed to end the stream about half an hour ago. Yeah, I'm going to have to take like an hour break to go pick someone up from school. Might be a good idea. It might be too late. Let's just leave it the way it is. Yeah. Oh, the cat's awake too. Unfortunately, I gotta go because I forgot I'm picking someone up. And yeah, it's not a big deal because they're at a school where they can just study while they're waiting for me to pick them up. But I gotta go. I will be back though once I return. So in the meantime, let me raid someone else to give you guys something else to watch. Bye, Marco. Is my cat a chameleon? No, he just jumped off the cat tower. So actually, I can turn that off now. Bye-bye, kitty. The cat senses that I'm going to be going soon, probably. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, who should we raid? Yeah, you can post them later or in Discord, that noob. That's fine. Sorry I have to run. We got one vote for Lana Lux. Sure. Well, no one. I can do that. I don't think I've rated Lana Lux before, or not in a while. She's got 162 viewers though. Sure, we'll add to the growing list of people who are watching Lana Lux. Let's just do it. I'm starting the raid. Hold on. Let me make sure I have this set up right. All right, so I'll be back in like an hour. Until then, enjoy Lana Lux, and I will hopefully see you later. If not, have a great weekend, and take care, my friends. Bye.